Hello everyone and welcome to another gameplay video. Playing one of my favorite all-time decks today, featuring one of my favorite all-time champions, Kindred. She's teaming up with Lucian today, and just as a heads up, a slightly different video today. You'll see in the gameplay. I actually didn't record any commentary. It was such a crazy session, guys. I just decided I need to share this, and I've just done a voiceover over the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you want, there's the shortcuts in the down below, so you can skip ahead to the gameplay if you don't want to watch the deck, guys. But let's get into the deck, guys. This is a pretty old school deck. I put this deck together a long time ago when Kindred was first released, and they were pretty terrible on release, to be honest. I think it was a 5-cost. But since then, she's been buffed, and they've been buffed. Pardon me, guys. I know Kindred's lamb and wolf. I'll slip up on the pronouns every now and then. But yeah, she's teaming up with Lucian in a pretty much an aggro matchup. Very synergistic deck. They both like to see they both like to slay allies, if I can put it that way. Lucian levels up when he sees 4 or more allies killed, or when he sees Senna killed. One of the funniest synergies in this game, in Legends of Runeterra, actually. This is the OG Senna before she was a champion in League of Legends, actually. Yeah, so the synergy between the two, if either one of them sees the other get killed, they get a boost in stats and they get double attack. Double attack is incredibly powerful in this game. So basically what this deck is geared up to do is play a lot of Shadow Owls, creatures that enjoy dying, and the all-star in this deck is the Undying. When I say this deck is synergistic, I really meant it. In fact, I think this deck might be a bit too synergistic, which is why it might not be the strongest deck in the meta or to rank up with. Reason being, if you don't draw the Undying, you tend to get stuck with this deck. So you'll see there a lot of synergy where you slay the Undying, he grows in power and tends to take over the game if left unchecked. So let's have a look at some of the other units in this deck. I already mentioned the Undying and Senna. 2 critical units in this deck. On the front end is the Oblivious Islander. This is probably one of the only decks you'll see this guy running in. But he is perfect. If you have this in your opening hand along with a copy of the Undying, that's your ideal start. What the Islander does, it grants a unit in hand Ephemeral and reduces its cost by 1. So Ephemeral on the Undying is actually a perk, because you want him to die and reducing his cost by 1. So you're basically dropping the Undying on turn 2, and he's going to go to a 3/3 on turn 3. So that's your ideal start in this game. I have a copy of the Ravenous Butcher. It used to be more. Basically he just slays one of the units, so if your Undying is on the board, he can slay them. So basically in this deck, what you'll see is units that slay other units and units that want to be slayed, so you can get a bonus out of it. So Ravenous Butcher is one of the ones that slay other units. Curse Keeper is one that wants to get slayed, so you get the Escape to Abomination. I bumped this up to 3 copies after the buff. I'm not sure how strong the buff is. So the Escape Abomination is now a 3/3. It used to be a 4/2. Personally, I'm not too sure on this. I'm not sold on 3/3 being a buff. I feel like the extra power is quite handy on the old Escape Abomination. Of course, it used to be a 4/3, and it was way too powerful as a 4/3, so they reduced the power stats on this guy. So yeah, he's one of those that wants to get slayed. Mask Mother does slaying. Mask Mother, you tend to drop quite late in the game. Your target's going to be the Undying when the Undying reaches 4/4/5/5, so you're basically getting a 7/7 fearsome by slaying your late game Undying. Another spicy play is to target your Senna, especially if you have a Lucian on board. Actually, you can all of the plays that I mentioned, including with the Undying, you can also use on Senna. You can use Oblivious Islander to make her ephemeral. If Lucian's on board, Lucian levels up straight away because Senna's gonna die because she's ephemeral. Very spicy play. Moss Mother can do the same thing, and that gives Moss Mother fearsome and quick attack, which is quite handy. And Blighted Caretaker is one of those that slays your units. I haven't spoken much about Kindred. Obviously, the slaying helps Kindred because she gets a mark, and whenever you slay one of your own allies, and that's gonna put a mark onto your opponent's units, and Kindred gets out of hand in this deck. If you're playing against a creature unit heavy deck, this deck is that's where this deck shines. It's less effective against control type of decks where they're not playing that many units. But in most decks, you're gonna see Kindred get targeted quickly. She's gonna absorb a lot of the removal that your opponents are playing. So I spoke about Senna and Undying, the Undying. The other thing this deck is very good at is getting you some card advantage, some card draw. So Spirit Leech, really strong card. Again, you're gonna be targeting the Undying. You get the theme, guys. You're gonna be targeting the Undying in a lot of your games, growing up to a big boy. The Ether Fiend is maybe a flex spot at 7 mana cost is quite high, but I just like this guy. He looks cool, and you can't stop the kill on it, right? So it's not something. Well, it actually is a skill, so you can't deny it. Well, anyway, the Ether Fiend, great removal piece. You basically removing one of your opponent's units and buffing up your Undying, and you get a 6/4 on top of that. I like the guy. But if you don't want to drop this guy, I totally understand that. Onto the spells. First, the equipment. Actually, Darkened Halberd, the newish addition to the deck. Again, he's slaying guys. Yeah, that's what we're doing in this deck. He's slaying one of your guys and giving a +2/+2 boost to one of your units. Generally, you want to throw this onto one of your champions. You don't want to target the Undying because you want the Undying to die. So you're gonna hopefully be getting this on one of your champions. Onto the spells, we have Shadow Owl's Tellstones, very handy, flexible spell. I was running Crumble in this deck initially, but Shadow Owl gives you access to the Crumble, and if need be, you can also play Mock of the Owls, push through some extra damage. Also makes your guys ephemeral, so your Undying is gonna die as well. So that's a very handy spell to use. Occasionally you'll use Spirit Journey as well. Glimpse Beyond, this has been a star performer since the beginning of this game. Not much to explain there. Card advantage, as I mentioned earlier, takes out one of your guys as well, which you wanted this deck. Sharpsight, maybe a flex pick. I think I put him in here as a sort of soft counter to elusive guys. You need an answer to block some elusives every now and then. But here, the stats boost. Sharpsight's always been a really good card, even after it was nerfed. Single combat works really well in this deck. Nice removal piece because you get to kill your guy as well. So single combat puts in the work in this deck. Stalking Shadow is also a great card in this deck. This I find particularly useful because, as I mentioned earlier, this deck really relies on the Undying. So if you don't draw the Undying, you can dig for it with Stalking Shadows. And if you do hit the Undying on it, you actually get 2 copies of the Undying. Because you get a copy that you can play, and you get an ephemeral copy, which is actually the better copy. Because the ephemeral guy dies. And I've said it like 100 times in this video now, guys. You want your Undying on the board, you want him dying, you want him growing. And last but not least, late game finisher in Atrocity. This game doesn't have much late game plays going on for it, so ideas of the Atrocity can't finish off games if you have your Undying growing to maybe 6-6, 7-7, which he will do in the late game. You can just throw the Undying straight at your opponent's face to finish off the game. Another late game card that I never get to play. I never get to play Tarash. It costs 10 mana, so if you do reach turn 10, you can play Tarash. He's gonna be strong. He's gonna pull out all of your dead guys, and he's gonna pull out maybe. that's actually, now that I think about it, he's gonna pull out all of these Undying, dead Undying guys from your graveyard, and they're gonna die, and you're gonna get a lot, and they're gonna resurrect in the next turn. That's crazy. I've never pulled that off yet. I need to do that. So guys, that's the deck. It's a lot of fun, a lot of synergy, as you can see in this deck, and hope you enjoy the games coming up. As I mentioned earlier, it's a crazy session. Hope you enjoy the highlights package, and the formats are different, but it's quite cool. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. Hit that like and subscribe. Joy. Okay guys, let's get into these games. So this was when I decided to start recording, guys, when I was dealt 3 Lucians in my opening hand. How often do you see that? I traded 2 of them away. So this first game was against Luck, and quite an interesting game. I'm actually recording a bit of gameplay here before I get here. I'm going to speed it up a bit to get to the spicy bits. This game was going pretty well. I dropped a Lucian. Unfortunately, I managed to give it granted vulnerable and took it out. At this point, I was thinking, damn, I should have held on to at least one of those 3 Lucians I had in my opening hand. And the game was pretty evenly spread out. Got in a few early hits. He got in a few luck procs, and then this happened. So I knew he had a Rek'Sai in hand because of the double luck proc on the previous round. But I had an answer for it, so I wasn't too worried. So dropped my crumble onto the Undying. Happiness. Taking out his Rek'Sai. So I'm going to take a bit of damage in this round, but I'm pretty confident I can make a comeback. And then he drops a second Rek'Sai. So 2 Rek'Sais in one round, not much I can do, guys. Good game, well played opponent. Oh, well played luck deck, I should say. And that's the first game. Start with a loss, but there's so many games coming up, guys. This was the first of 7 games, so there we go. Done, 0-1. Next game up against a Ionia Seraphine deck running Master Yi. Not the greatest of opening hands, but we've got some early play, so it's not too bad. And get a forward wind a bit, speed it up a bit as well in this game. This is one of the nicest plays in this deck. Oblivious on Islander, discounting our Undying, just speeding it up a bit. Opponent plays his Master Yi, and I decide to take it out with the combo. And my opponent thinks about it for a while and makes the spicy play. And that's the game. I guess this is the joys of normal queue. People are losing, they're not gonna fight, they're not fighting for any LP, they're just going to go next. And we do go next as well. 1-1 up against Shurima. Mono Shurima. No, not quite Mono Shurima, running Shadow Elves. I hang on to my Oblivious Islander. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Onlooker. And gives up before I could even drop my Islander. So, win's a win, guys. Recounting that, putting it into the books, up to 2-1. Next round is, this is actually a Field Rush deck. Freljord Targon. This was quite a long game, but quite a fascinating end, if I might say. Starts off pretty. I start off pretty well in this game. I drop my Lucian, my Kindred, get a few slaves in, get some damage in, knock my opponent down to 4 life, and then on turn 6 my opponent's ramped up to 8 mana. He drops his Targon's Peak. I'm still not too worried at the moment. So I have a full board. He's only got 4 life, but we're playing against control. So here I decide to make an interesting play. Drop slay one of my Undying with the Spirit's Journey. Get the Kindred proc. Get a proc onto Lucian as well. And I'm thinking, well, next attack turn, I don't think he can stop me.
Are you there, dear wolf?
I am, little lamb.
Are you sad?
Are you sad? There's something about Kindred's voice lines, they just get hard.
With no coup.
Some of them are eerily beautiful. Kindred is just one of the best design champs in League of Legends, in my opinion. So I've got a full board. Lucian slowly ranking up, leveling up, and my opponent. Notice the discounts on my side. The one mana unit discounted down to 0. That's Targon's Peak in action. Meanwhile, my opponent heals up a bit, ramps up a bit, and drops his really nice. At this point, I'm thinking, well, he's probably gonna play it at stairs next round and take my guys out. So let me drop Senna to take out one of my buried allies. Next round I have the attack token. I can get him getting some damage.
Don't fear the dark.
I'm actually so close to lethal here, which is what I'm busy calculating, I believe. If I had some port space, I could have.
My gun does the talking.
Could have used the Blighted Caretaker and get up to lethal here. As it stands, I'm one short. Wouldn't have maxed it anyway because my opponent's got more healing. And more healing. So remember back when he was on 4 health? Well, after those hits it's down to 10, and then he plays a 0 mana Field Rush. And normally when your opponent plays Field Rush, you're like, I'm in trouble. But I'm actually comfortable at this point. I'm still thinking I've got Shop Fight to block the Zoe. I've got I've got a full board of creatures. I think, well, let's see what happens. I think I can go win this game.
The constellations
And I've
bow
got
to me.
Aurelian Soul levels up. And there we go, the undying discontent is 0.
My, how they stare.
Opponent drops Avalanche. I figure, well, this doesn't scare me too much either, because all of my undying guys will come back. So not too worried yet again. I protect my Kindred with Sharp Sight, which also allows me to block Zoe. Unfortunately, I'm trying to work out how to save my Lucian, but I can't do it. I put some damage onto Zoe, so that way if Zoe attacks, Kindred can kill her. I have a decent attack next round. But then this happens. So first of all, 0 cost Undying. Then my opponent plays the second 0 cost Field Rush. Let me know, guys, is this the most amazing high roll you've ever seen or not? Targon Speak into Field Rush for 0, into second Field Rush for 0. Good game, opponent. And
Will they forget us?
They will try.
going to interrupt Kindred. And we're back up to 2. Next round, Seraphine Victor. Strong meta deck. Surprised to come across this in the normal queue, but that's a good challenge anyway. Hold on to the Senna, hoping to draw a Lucian. And this is a slightly longer deck. I'm gonna speed it up a bit. Opponent drops an Acorn, gets a couple of attacks in. I draw Lucian, which is great. Lucian with Senna, very nice. And I actually kill my own Senna with my Moss Mother, which gets Lucian leveled up. And my opponent's up against it in this round. Drop Kindred as well. And
Whoa, you sound great.
this is how this deck is supposed to work, guys. Dropping him down to 1 life on turn 5. His Seraphine is marked and he surrenders. That's how this deck is supposed to play.
Put to rest.
Lucian and Kindred comboing perfect. 3-2 and we take on Gwen and Vayne and Gwen. Well, a decent opening hand, Oblivious Islander in hand. And again I have an Lucian in hand. If I go for the spicy play here, I'll mark the Senna as ephemeral. Speeding it up a bit. Again, drop the Lucian. He's gonna level up as soon as Senna dies, if he gets the chance. Now back to normal speed for the level up, guys.
You're early.
Leveled up Lucian
Need more coffins.
on turn 3. Attacking on turn 4. Too much to handle. So that's 2 games in a row with this deck going off really early. Leveled up Lucian, just too much to handle. Up to 4-2 and getting into the final game of the day, guys. I'm gonna spend a bit more time on this. Let's watch a full game for a change. I hold on to the Oblivious Islander, thinking about keeping the Halberd as well. Thinking against it. But Islander into the Undying, that's always what you want to see in your opening hand. So up against post-nerf Seraphine Ezreal. There's the Undying dropping as a 2/2 Ephemeral. So Ephemeral on the Undying is so good because he gets a free attack and comes back boosted stats.
I'm your man. Let's see what's out there.
I had a feeling that was coming. Island is so cool. I wish we saw more play in this game, but this was one of the few decks he fits in so well. He doesn't even fit into the Hecarim deck for some reason. I think I'd chuck him into the Hecarim deck. He'll work well with the Shock Chariot. Yeah. Taking it slow in this game, so is my opponent. Both of us on 7 usable mana available. And he decides to quiet us my Islander. I guess he probably figures he's not gonna get much to target in this game. I get the leech onto my Undying, he grows and I draw a card. Beautiful synergy of this deck. Play your own guy for your own benefit. Such a win-win-win basically. And there you go, my Undying's up to 4/4. Like a Caretaker in hand. I don't think I blocked these guys. But he's got a handful of cards. And you gotta be afraid of that when you're playing against Hiiii Everybody. Especially when he does that. That's a nice 2-for-1 and he draws a card. I contemplate sharp sighting, but these aren't cards that my deck relies on. So I'll let them go. I'm going overboard, drop the Ephemeral Undying, perfect. Moss Mother, a 6/6 fearsome, and a 5/5 Undying, 5/5 Undying and a 3/3 Undying. That is quite an attack, right? Fortunately for my opponent, he does have blockers. Can't block the 6/6 fearsome though. And we happily knocked him down to 9 health and he plays his third Pharaoh's Financier. And gets his third 6-cost spell for free. So still very nervous at this point.
It's an awesome day.
Very nervous, my opponent's got a lot of cards in hand. He has a lot of mana available, but I have another Undying. Another 2 Undying actually. It's getting a bit ridiculous guys, I know. I'm not exactly sure why I played the Senna here. I just realized that I have an Ephemeral Undying in hand. Would have much rather dropped that and saved the 3 spell mana for next round. Wasn't thinking long and hard. He's got so many cards in hand, it's gonna take him a while. That's the frustrating bit of playing with Seraphine. The games take terribly long. terribly long, and because she draws random spells, sometimes it's, you don't know what you're gonna get, so you might, as an opponent to Seraphine, you're thinking, oh, maybe he got something bad, so let me stick around. And post nerf Seraphine, it didn't really matter if she got something bad, she's still gonna weigh you down. There we go. I eventually dropped my ephemeral Undying. Opponent dropped the,
In a world full of
what's it called, the
monsters.
Dark Alley Balky.
That'll never change.
So I've got Lucian and Senna on board. Now I want to kill my Senna. I just can't resist this combination. You never see it. Come on to the Senna, targeting your 6/6 fearsome. But of course my opponent takes out Lucian. That made me sad. Losing both Senna and Lucian.
Sentinels.
But made me sad, but still in a comfortable position in this game. With 3 Undying and 1 more in hand. It comes beyond.
You fuck!
Draw me more cards. And here I contemplated glimpsing, but Sharp Sight allows me to present lethal. Because my opponent with that many cards in hand must have an answer. And he does. He eventually decides to vengeance my Undying. And this time I glimpse, I think. Contemplating getting Mark of the Owls in there for more damage. That's not quite enough to get me up to lethal amounts of damage. So play the glimpse. Opponent down to 3 life. Plays the glimpse, I can't stop this. And even though he has a lot of cards, he gets 2 more of them. And I play, what do I play here? I play a Slade. So I figure, let me just get more Undyings out there, why not? So up to 4 Undying, guys. Board full of the Undying. Opponent drops Seraphine, and that's alarm bells are definitely going off. I'm gonna target Seraphine with the combo. Opponent must have an answer with that many cards in hand. I target my highest power Undying, hoping that's enough to. And he plays a Spirit Journey.
Alright, let's jam!
This is a card I'm a bit confused about, to be honest. Because it seems to work sometimes, but sometimes it does not. But I think it should. This is how it should work. It should be able to save your guy, right?
I did my best.
So that's Seraphine surviving. Then he tries to gain some life by draining my 6/3 fearsome. And I won't let him gain the life. I want to glimpse my guy. And draw Kindred. Can't play it just yet though. Yeah, at 16 health, I'm happy to pass here. Where am I? I eventually decide on the Cost Keeper.
Get your dance amps on. Let's go.
The opponent gets in some damage. But running that back, I'm thinking I should have targeted the Undying. I would have had a board of 5 Undying.
A duet? Heck yeah.
And so Seraphine leveled up and doubling up spells. Does she have an answer? And now I'm thinking at this point she must. she must take me out. She must take us, and I've got no blockers because I'm a board full of Undying. So drum solo, more cards, more double spells. Is he going to do it? Too many cards in hand, it was burning a few. He still has 5 mana though, so I'm still thinking he's got something. He's been queuing this card, that spell since the beginning. 3 spells on the queue. Okay, I'm thinking he survives. But he comes up short, guys. He comes up short, and the Undying army takes him out on exact lethal.
Nailed that one.
Pretty good way to finish, guys. I enjoyed that game. Always enjoyed beating Seraphine, right?
Sorry, Papa.
Interesting, she says sorry, Papa at the end. And that's the last game, guys. We end on 5-2, I believe it is. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed those games, playing my favorite deck. There's a score finally popping up. So thanks, guys. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you for the next game.